Hello artists, how are you today? Stephanie Ani coming to you from the banks of the Trinity River, here in Six Rivers National Forest near Willow Creek, California. Welcome to my studio. So glad you stopped by. Yay! Today, Hack the Masters. Gustav Klimt. Yes, my friend Gustav. What an amazing artist. And I've always felt that way about him. You know, he was probably one of the first artwork posters that I had on my wall, The Kiss, you know, such an iconic, beautiful piece of artwork. His use of gold, his use of pattern and texture. So those are things that have been influencing me this week. So I've kind of taken a pretty large leap, and I really wanted to do an assemblage piece. And it's taken me a while to get going. So for my Patreon video, I'm doing a full-on assemblage. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. I admit it's crazy, but if I can make it work, it's going to be really cool. But again, hacking the masters for me is about experimenting. It's about playing. It's about learning, and it's about focusing and pushing myself. So here we are with the YouTube video on Gustav Klimt. Now you might say, how is this looking like Gustav Klimt? Well, considering that this painting is one of my inspiration pieces that I have set up in my notes, can you see where she has the potential to go? Now, she's definitely not finished. This is part one. We will be doing part two here next week. I wanted to be sure to give her the time that she needs in order to finish her properly, to get her background in. Because look at this, guys. Look at his landscapes. Right? He's not just about the kiss. He's about pattern and texture. And, you know, now he's about gold, absolutely. But look at the pattern and the texture. Creating the focal point, right? Beautiful, amazing, stunning work. And his landscapes. I know, I'm excited. I'm sorry. Okay, so can you see where this can go? Now, this is not necessarily Klimt-ish at this point, but it is inspired. It is influenced by. It is absolutely, he is here on my desk hanging out with me, right? He's in my thoughts. So it'll be really exciting to see where this goes in the next week. And again, I wanted to really give him the time that it deserves. Okay, real quick, I'll give you a quick history lesson on Gustav. We'll talk about what he was all about, and then I will show you some of the process on painting this and creating this. Now, I have to admit, I did not film all of this painting because, you know, I'm working through it. I haven't done a figure in, you know, since 97. I have not painted a figure. So this, oh wait, I lied. I guess I did one about 8 years ago. That was about this size. So this is challenging for me, absolutely, and I'm learning a ton, and I'm loving that. Okay, we'll talk real quick about Gustav, and then we'll get into the painting. Bye. Okay, let's try to talk real quick about what was happening in the world during the Vienna succession. There's a whole lot of information about Gustav on the internet, and if you'd like to do more research on him, I would highly suggest it. He was a fascinating guy. So Klimt was born in 1862 and he died in 1918. But he was one of the founding members of the Vienna succession, and that's kind of what I want to touch on real quick. So just to kind of jump to France real quick. France was, you know, in the 1870s, France was going through Impressionism, and Impressionism was a direct result of the Salon. The Salon, prior to Impressionism, you had to do very heroic, large-scale paintings of famous people and not showing any brushstrokes or heroic events. It was very stylized art, very conservative art. And the Impressionists came along and they're like, no. No, we're not doing that. We're going to mix our paint right on the canvas. We're going to give brushstrokes. We're going to show light. Tube paint had come out, and so they were able to travel to the fields and paint directly en plein air. Pretty cool stuff, right? And then during all this time, the history, they had gone through the French Revolution, and the Industrial Revolution was happening. So all these changes were happening in Europe at this time, and that affected the art. Yes, it did. So the Impressionism revolted against the standards of acceptable art, and they bucked the system, absolutely. The Impressionists, of course, influenced the Post-Impressionists like Van Gogh. Now, Van Gogh went to Paris while the Impressionists were working. He did not show in the salons, but he was very much so influenced by the works of Monet, Manet, Renoir, Degas, Pissarro, and all of those other guys who were working in France at the time. So Van Gogh was a direct result of knowing these guys. His work prior to going to Paris was very less colorful, let's put it that way. And he really evolved once he went into France. Anyways, from Post-Impressionism, then we have Neo-Impressionism, which was the Pointillism, and all of those things kind of built on. Well, jump to Vienna, and Vienna's up in the mountains and kind of secluded. They were very, very conservative in Austria. Now, they had also gone through the revolution at the same time as the French Revolution, but I'm not really, you know, I haven't gone into the revolution part of it. All of these changes were happening in Europe, bucking the systems that were in place, you know, by the royalty, by all of those things. So, the Vienna Succession was a direct response to this hyper-conservative art. And the thing that I love about the Vienna Succession is that they allowed everybody. So as long as you're creating new and interesting things, you did not have to do a painting with gold leaf. You were allowed to bring your own skills to the table. So Vienna Succession is not, you know, just like Cubism or Pointillism. The Vienna Succession is a wide range of art. So that's why it's not something that we will know as much about. And they encouraged revolution. All right, there's your history lesson in 4 minutes or less. We'll chat soon. Bye. Okay, well, I have some of this copper paint left over here. I am just kind of priming this surface real quick. This is some really thick, this is just deco art, I think, kind of a cheaper copper paint. And black gesso, and what I'm just trying to do is just get kind of a I'm starting to get the shimmer. Gustav has beautiful luminescent paintings, and so we're gonna try to build up that. Now, I debated whether to have a black background or leave it white and work off of the white. I think this will be okay. I'm hoping. Gustav does gorgeous, gorgeous gold leaf, and we will be playing with that as well as our deco foil, probably some gold spray paint. I have to go buy some. We're just really going to be pushing some, I'm going to be pushing myself. I know that for sure. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm also going to do this second canvas here real quick. And so I can pull off some of this. And we'll come back here in a little bit. All right. Bye. Okay, guys. So I decided to come back and adjust this coloring here on this background just a little bit. And I've come back in with some Prussian blue. Now, the background was beautiful with that copper color, but we also want to think about contrast. Contrast creates depth. Cool to dark. Warm to cool creates depth. So even though this is an assemblage piece that probably won't be much, I don't know how thick it's going to be truly, without having contrast, you're kind of losing We're forcing the contrast. We're going to try to bring that gold and make it as intense as we possibly can. In order to make the gold intense, we have to give it a good contrasting color. And trust me, it does work. So opposite of yellow and orange is purple and blue. So that's why I've decided to kind of cool this down once again into this purpley black. I still want the copper metallic. I still want that feel to it. I don't want to cover all that up, but we're going to have a conversation already starting just like that. All right, we'll be back. Okay, guys, just to let you know where I'm at here, I have started to sketch out a basic shape, remembering my ratios, right? You have one head here, and then you have to the middle of the boobs is the second head, and then that's generally where the waist is going to be at. It's about 2.5 heads. So about here is her waist-ish. Elbows go to the waist, right to the bottom of the rib cage. So where her rib cage ends, that's where her elbows will be, right? And then, of course, we're going to make this dress into something fun, so I don't really want to go into worrying about her hands too much, although Gustav does do very eloquent hands. I like that about his work, so I will consider that. He does long, skinny hands, kind of like my hands, huh? I have very large hands, but I'm 6 foot tall, so my hands are actually quite proportional to my body. So here she's got a really interesting shape going. So I'm just working on the face. Now, if you're having issues, you know, get yourself a good book. Really, get yourself a book on how to draw. You know, this book is pretty awesome. I actually do better with side views over frontal views, but you know, here he's really breaking down the face. Look, if you put the whole head into quarters, that's in the bottom quadrant, you know. So I just sketched this box out here real quick on her face, and we're gonna have the bottom of the nose here, right? And then our mouth will be down here. If we look at this one, it's in the upper third of that box. So that upper third of that box, almost from side to side, right? Got the bottom lip, we have the upper lip. What I want to do is make this little guy here, and then have her little nose there, and then there, and there, and there, and there, and you know, small fine nose like he does. This leads up to the eyebrows, which are on that line. All right, and then we're gonna have that's our halfway. So here's the center of the eye on each center of the eye. All right, so I'm using my white Stabilo to draw on this darker. So when we have this, right, once we have the eyes in the right place, we can, you know, build up from there. And I'm just quickly sketching this, so don't judge too much, guys, because it's a quick sketch, and I'm not even over the top of my drawing, so it's a little bit difficult to do. And also, if this was white paper drawing with dark, it would look different than what this looks. So no judging. And plus, I haven't drawn a face in, oh God, how long has it been since I've drawn a face? I had so many classes in life drawing. The first year that I was in art school, the first year that I got to Columbus College, I went in as a junior, and I had the skill level of a freshman of the people that were around me. I had 8 classes. Very, very full schedule, 8 classes. And out of those 8 classes, the first day, 6 of them had nudes. And you know, from the watercolor class to the drawing class to the life drawing class, every one of them had you know, figures that I had to draw day in and day out. And then, of course, now I'm completely out of practice. All right, this guy says the ears go right here to this space. And that actually looks pretty close to something I can start working with. Okay, guys, well, I have just a makeshift palette set up here. This is just a plastic case that I actually used for my images. I can't find my actual palette, which really is annoying. Colors that we have are cad yellow light, cadmium yellow deep, yellow ochre, paroli red, and quinacridone magenta. So we have you know, actually cad yellow light is a bluer toned yellow, and you know, so it's a little bit cooler, so you just gotta kind of watch that. The cad yellow deep is a warmer tone, right? So our paroli red is our warm red, quinacridone is our cool red tone. Then we have our cobalt, we have our ultramarine, and our Prussian blue. This is a cobalt teal. No, cobalt teal, yeah, cobalt turquoise, and then a sap green and a it's this one, that one, poly cyan, actually green, yellow shade. So not that I think I'll even get into the greens, but I do not like to use black. Oh, and then titanium white. Titanium white has the best coverage for me. So that's why I use titanium. I don't really ever use a black because I mix my colors to make a rich, deep color. Payne's Gray is a great color. You can use that, of course. Use whatever colors you like. Those are just the colors I am using. I have a variety of brushes here. Most likely I'm going to be going with my finer brushes since her face is quite small. So I'll probably be using these guys. The finest tips that I can find, actually. Oh, this is crazy. All right, to make flesh tone, right? Start with your you're making kind of an orangey color. Yes, you are making an orangey color. You're taking your red with your yellow. And I have a little bit of a tan here. So I'm actually going to bring in some yellow ochre too. It's a little bit too orangey. So if it's too orange, we will cool it down. Yep, too orange. So we're going to cool it down with some blue. Now that is the wrong blue. That just made immediate green. Let's try this blue. Now it just takes a touch of this color to cool it down. Ooh, I am out of practice with color mixing. Okay, I actually have an oranger skin tone due to my tan that's already starting up here. Okay, browner color. All right, let's try this little cooler magenta. Oh, okay, that's getting closer. Oh, that's getting much closer. Okay, there's our third color. Of course, my skin's not that dark. It's a good flesh color. It's not my flesh color. Let's get this one here. I might have to add a little bit of blue to it now. Let's go with this guy. It's going to be too dark. No, that's my skin tone. So that's how we practice skin tones. Now, if I go here, it's a different color, right? So you can actually go around practicing skin tones all over your body. You can. It's a great way to learn about the paint. Now, for her, you know, my hands are definitely darker due to the fact that I've been out in the sunshine. So let's go with a little bit creamier. Now you look at her face, and that's pretty close to that color. So we're going to just give that, ooh, that's dark, or that's light. We're going to just give her that undercolor, just right off the bat. Highlights. Where is her face going to be brightest at? It's going to be right in here. Let's make a choice on where the sun is going to be coming from. Let's go a little bit up overhead. I suppose that would make the most sense. I'm not really sure how to do that, honestly. Always got to decide your light source. Have to, not got to. You got to decide your light source. All right, so we're going to bring in a darker shade here. And here. Now, we will absolutely darken that more. We're just kind of getting... So the cooler tones, our color theory works very well with this, guys. So cooler tones go backwards. Warmer tones will come forward. Brighter colors will come forward the most, or will give us the most attention, right? So those are things to remember. You know, just your basic color theory here. All right, let's mix up a little bit more. Try not to use that same color too much in one place, right? Even though we're just doing a small place here, you know, just use little bits here and there. Okay, this is going to take some bit of work. What I'm actually going to do, I think, is I'm going to put you guys on fast forward as I work through this. Now, realize that what I'm doing with the blues is I'm trying to make those sit back further. Also, blue is going to contrast with the orange and golds that we're going to use, so it's really going to bring the focus in on her face. I haven't painted faces for a very long time, so you guys will be watching me just kind of layering colors upon colors, trying to get the right tones. It's not going to be an easy process for me. I know that right off the bat, that this is going to be a challenge, which is kind of why I was initially like, oh, do I want to paint this? You know, but then I'm like, well, you know, I'm up for the challenge. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm doing here. This is not meant to be like as exact as Gustav's. I am not looking to, you know, make a commission painting of somebody. I am not looking to really, you know, I'm not looking to do photorealism whatsoever. I'm really, truly just kind of looking to create an interesting background. And we kind of need to have some sort of indication of the hair in here, just so that we can establish what we're working with. And I know I just chose this violet color for her hair. She's gonna have brownish or blackish hair. I don't know, maybe she'll have yellow hair, I don't know. Whatever color I decide to do her hair, purple is a very, very good undertone color. So by choosing that, I've really pushed the darks. Plus, purple and blue are the opposites of yellow and orange. So between those two, it's going to create a really great contrast, right? Okay guys, we're gonna stop here this week, and I'm gonna just keep working on her, and of course I'll be building up the background texture more and more, and you know, she is definitely leaning in. She wants to tell you something. I'm just gonna keep working with her, and that is this week's Hacking the Masters, Gustav Klimt. Thanks so much for being here. Please hit that like and subscribe. Please add this to playlists, guys. It does really help if people are searching for some new inspiration. So if you make a playlist and add it to it, that would be awesome. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have an artist that you think I should check out, be sure to tell me who it is, and I will consider that for a future Hacking the Masters. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Be safe. Mwah.